Welcome to Mahala Monday. Fantastic to be with you today. We hope you are doing very, very well. May is at an end. As always, I'm never alone. I am with the only person that makes mashed potato eating chicken. Rhoda is here. Hello.
Oh, that's me. That's me. Thank you, Dugald.
I had to make up something here. I promise you, our culinary skills are fantastic. I have eaten at your place.
Definitely. And just by the way, talking about
Takeaways.
eating, takeaways, yes, definitely takeaways. I'm still waiting for my butter chicken, by the way, Dugald. He promised that he makes a brilliant butter chicken, so I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I haven't got the invite yet, but I'm waiting. Welcome, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you to everybody who is here. Of course, first thing we'd like to ask you, definitely like and subscribe and share this as well. We want you to be part of this for tonight because it is a very, very special show. I don't even know how to start this off. It's like a bit of a moment here. You talk. I was just going to try and get into the...
You know what? Dougal's been excited for this whole week. Not even week, since we knew that our special guest was going to be on the show.
Yes.
He's been excited about it.
I came here early. I was here on Tuesday morning last week for today. I was here Tuesday morning for today. Let me just be very honest with you. But anyway, be as it may, let's get straight into it because we've got a very special guest for you this evening. Now, of course, Mahala Monday, thank you very much for tuning in. This is in proud association with the wonderful people at The Word Magazine. You definitely got to check out The Word Magazine. Of course, go to the website. Publications are phenomenal. It is really, really insightful, educational, entertaining, but more importantly, it is just thought-provoking, and you've got to go check out. Because I know you're a big fan.
Yes, and it's free, by the way, Dugald. It's free because not everybody likes free things at the end of the day, but definitely go to the website and go have a look and read up the magazine. They've got brilliant articles in there. Yeah. And obviously, Nickay was there as well. There's a few articles that Nickay
and our guest tonight.
Well. And our guest, one of the covers of the magazine, definitely is here today as well.
Yeah, which is really fantastic. But let's start off here because, yes, Rhoda wasn't joking. We've been super excited about having our special guest here this evening. What I can tell you right now, of course, all of us throughout the country and wherever you are on the globe knows him as the cousin. In fact, South Africa's favorite cousin. And you can ask many performers. You can ask myself this. I told this to Rhoda. I spoke to her about this off air. I told her, listen here, one of the reasons I actually started doing comedy was because of this very, very person. And so, without further ado, everybody, what is really brilliant is that we have this very special guest with us here this evening. Tonight, here on Mahala Monday. And like I said, the favorite comedian, and many comedians will tell you this as well. Yeah. They will all tell you that this is the one comedian that kind of convinced them, I suppose, by just being so fantastic to start doing comedy. Without further ado, the cousin, the one and only, he's here, Mr. Barry Hilton. Hello, sir.
Thank you. I'm very, very honored that you would say things like that.
The Godfather.
Obviously, the 500 rands I gave you is working.
Definitely our Godfather.
He is the Godfather. I tell you what, this is... firstly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This is a big deal.
Yes, well, I do want to tell you, I found out they call it Mahala Monday because they're not paying me.
I have to apologize for my laughing tonight.
Actually, why is it called Mahala Monday?
It's free.
It's liquor. It's free. It's Mahala.
It's Mahala.
It's a South African... Yeah, it's a South African word.
Definitely.
We got a lot of South African words that only South Africans can understand, like dingus. Because, I mean, if you ask, what is a dingus? A dingus is anything. You can be cooking cakes in the kitchen with your mother or your granny, and she says, pass the dingus. And you know it's the eggs. You just know.
Just know the dingus. It's true.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first time I got naked in front of a girl, she said, is that a dingus?
Good one.
As an interactive show, we look forward to your comments and questions. Of course, put it through whatever you want to know. The cousin is here for us. with us for this evening. So definitely put your questions and comments through. We look so forward. It is really so fantastic having you here. Let me just say.
Fabulous.
And I wasn't joking, because many comedians must tell you this. Like, the reason they do comedy is because of you.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'm honoured. Thank you.
No, you are truly, truly the godfather. This is it. Because you've had an iconic career as far as entertainment goes in South Africa.
That's important.
43 years.
43 years.
Oh, wow.
Counting.
43.
You still get nervous every time you walk on stage?
I want to throw up every single time when they call my name.
Yeah.
Just now when you did it, I was I do. Every single
have the
time.
bucket here.
Do
you-
you? List.
Good one.
different conversation there. 43
You
years.
look a little pale. 43 years, yo, and I still love it, and I still work it, and I still have fun, and I'm very blessed.
Do you remember the first time?
Yeah, I was 16. The name was
16.
Janice, I think.
Janice, if you're watching.
Watching.
We were 20.
Do you still recall the first night you walked on stage and gave it a bash?
I gave it a bash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd been actually practicing in the soccer change rooms with lads, you know what I'm saying? But the first time I ever got on was a guy called Lummy. There was a band in Cape Town, and I was doing something, and he said, "Is anybody celebrating?" And all my friends said, yeah. And I got on. I don't remember. He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "My mother." And the people laughed. And then I smashed it for like 5 minutes, because I could do that stuff, you know, but I never had the chance to get up on stage and do it. And as it happens, I went back 2 weeks later, and I died so bad. I met Bob Marley, John Lennon, and Elvis.
Oh, my word.
And they all told me, "But go back.
Not time
It's not
yet.
your time yet. Pull it." It took me like 2.5 years again to get the courage to get back on stage. Yeah. So when I got, I was 26.
Sure.
So it was great for me.
Yeah. And 43 years later, you've performed everywhere. I mean, you've gone all over the world. You've still in the big demand as you are, because
I've done over
very
7,000 shows, and we counted it the other day, Sandy.
How much?
Was
7,000.
7,000.
7,000?
Wow.
Yes.
Should have brought the champagne.
Sure.
When I
7,000.
first started, things were very tough to get a gig, because there was this set of comedians that were established on the television, and if you weren't one of them, you weren't anything.
Yeah.
So, and one of the guys called Johnny Noble, he was a really nice guy. He was like top of the range at the time. And I saw him in Sea Point, and I begged him, "Please help me." And he said, "Okay, he'll help me, but under strict conditions." So he told me, "If I tell you to jump, you don't ask how high. If I tell you what to do, this is what you do. Okay, are we clear on this?" Because obviously, then he got me a job, and then I was rubbish. And then I said to him, "Am I bad?" He said, "No, actually." He said, "Actually, you've got some," you said, "just 3 things you need. You need material." He said, "Clearly, you've got an abundance of that. And you need a stage time. And the last thing you need, similar to stage time, is experience. Stage time is just doing the show, but the experience is what you get to do the show, the nonsense that happens behind the scenes and all that stuff." So he was great, and he started me off, and that's how I started. Actually, got me a job in Port Elizabeth, but I had to pretend I was from Liverpool, because back in the day, no, really, back in the day, all of the big comics that came over from overseas, they were Northern English, and I had to talk like that as a Scouser. And I did it so well.
You won the Premier League. But Barry, there's a photo. Look at that now.
My
That
gosh.
photo there.
You know what? My eyes are like that. I think I've just done a shot, actually.
Yeah.
I do believe there's a comment. Oh,
Oh,
look
there we
at
go.
that. Oh,
And that was
there.
cool.
I do believe we have a comment there. Anthony Botha.
How's it, my cousin? Hello, Anthony. How you doing, bro?
Hello, my cousin.
Anthony.
At least we know we've got one viewer.
He's on it. He's on it. He's on it. How's it, Anthony? How's it, Anthony? Where was that? That first photo we showed.
The first show, that was the one that Johnny Noble organised for me. That was 1983.
Wow.
That was I had a beige jacket and a white shirt and a brown bow tie and a pair of brown pants, and that was it. That was my lot. I couldn't afford anything else. I was just struggling. There was when I was eating too much. But I had a fat jaw that night. So it's changed. I've come back. I've lost some. I'm right. I'm looking right now. I haven't got a paunch anymore. It's called not working.
Cool, not working. Oh my word.
Let me take you back. 7,000 shows.
Yes.
There's
Plus.
300 over 7,000.
Wow.
There's 365 days a year. That's like non-stop performing every day for a good amount of years.
When I started, when I was working in strip clubs as a compere, we used to do at least 2 shows a day.
Oh.
It would be lunchtime, cocktail, and probably a 10 o'clock show in another place. So that's 3 times a day I was getting on. Average twice a day was a good one. So we add that up, that goes very, very quick.
Yeah.
It's half the time that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But I did that for the first 8 years.
Sure.
And then I used to get doubled. I would do that, then it started off, and I would go do another show at night somewhere else, and that's how it sort of.
Yeah.
And then I started doing corporates, and then I worked in. I was in the UK, and I got picked up to go work in a place called St Helier in Jersey, where we did 2 shows a day for 17 weeks.
Sure.
And it was just hectic. And then you do, and then of course, then you get. Sometimes it's easy, but I mean, sometimes like cruise liners. I've actually just started to do cruise liners again.
Oh wow.
I think Sandy told me my first gig is somewhere in December-ish. It's an international cruise liner, but it's in South African waters, but it's an international cruise liner because they book so far in advance.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you go on to a cruise liner, you don't have to get drunk because you naturally just sweat. But it's the criteria is quite heavier. It's heavy.
Oh, wow.
You have to be able to do at least 2 45-minute sets, and you've got to do that 2 45 minutes twice. So you do it, say on a Tuesday, I'm using an example, you do the first sitting, second sitting, and then you'll go on the Thursday night, you'll do another completely different 45 minutes. And then again, and then if they ask you again, the most I've done is 3 on a week, 3 different 45-minute sets.
Wow.
That's heavy.
Easy.
Well, no religion, no politics, no smut, no swearing, no this, no that, no that. But you see, for me, and I'm not being arrogant, that was easy for me because I've never cursed. Other words, I say kak. Okay? I've never cursed on stage. I don't do hectic religion. You know, I skirt around religion because it's fine, because the religion's there. I don't do politics. Oh, MG, I don't want to do that at all. So it works for me, and I'm happy. So when I go around the world or whatever, people often say, "But how do they understand you?" And I say, "Well, when I go to England, I talk Polish." You know, or Gujarati, I think it's so. You just got to be able to change up. You don't have to be different. I mean, you don't have to be first. You have to be different. I'm so sorry. So you go overseas. You work on it. When you're touring overseas, it gets hectic. Yeah. So you do every day.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, the world's a bit of a global village because when you perform abroad, there are many South Africans that come and see you. But equally
I
now,
knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
but also equally citizens of that country. They're following you.
They're following me. I did the Sydney Opera House. I filled it completely.
Wow.
And people would say to me, I say, "Where have you been?" I just did the Sydney Opera House. I did a big tour in Australia. I smashed it in Perth, and then I went to Melbourne. It was massive shows, and I did Brisbane, and then the Sydney Opera House. But big halls, big, and the Sydney Opera House was the monster.
Wow.
And then people would say to me, "What have you done?" I just done the Sydney Opera House in Australia. Yeah, there's a lot of South Africans there. And I say, "Dude, actually, you don't just go to the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to say to you, would you like to come and perform at the Sydney Opera? That's what they do.
Yeah.
So, but there's this sort of mindset that we're just South Africans. It's not.
No, it's not the case.
You know, you can. But so I work. We stopped it now because pain in the ass sometimes. I work in Hong Kong quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
But it's, we're going to look at going there again, wife and I. It's like nice. Hong Kong's great, and it's you get people of all different creeds.
Wow.
But in South Africa now, I found out when I'm doing shows in a club or something, because there's no really big venues anymore. You can still do it, but I don't really want to do that. The big 3,000-4,000. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I like to do 150, 200, up to 500 people. I love it. There's lots of that, and I forgot what I was talking about now. But, so we just work and work. I was telling you, those people, when I do those gigs, I would say 30% of my audience are black people, coloured people, brown people, white people, whatever, Afrikaans. The whole thing is different. Indians, whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the best.
Oh,
it's a special thing for me because it's not. I'm not only sort of catering to that.
Yeah.
I'm catering to people.
Yeah.
And it's lekker.
To everyone.
But apart from the fact that you've been doing comedy for 43 years, you've also resided in different areas within the country.
Yes.
I mean, you grew up in the Cape, you lived out in the Eastern Cape for a while, also Gauteng.
Yeah.
Does that equip you better to relate to the audience within the country? And understanding the fiber of that.
Quick, I've got ADHD. The thing is that as an artist, unless you're a singer or unless you're doing a set piece, people know, oh, this guy's going to do this. You go there, that's what you do. But if you're just talking to people, you have to change little bits. It's little bits. You know, a lift in the States is an elevator. Really.
Exactly the wording change,
Your trunk is your, what do they call this trunk in the boot? Ours is a boot. They call it the trunk.
They call it the trunk.
Well, it's the closest thing they're going to get to an elephant there. so you just have to change your diction and then rock and roll. So that's what it's about. And of course, you must want to do it. I have fun, man.
Yeah.
Do people often tell you got the best job in the world?
Yes. And then they often tell me I've got to be the laziest person in the world. Because really, that's not a job.
Are you kidding?
And you can ask Sandy that many times we'll be invited by some really nice people, come for a braai. I'm sure it's happened to you. And you get there and you see a little stage there and you think, okay, who's performing? And then,
I hate that.
And then they'll phone Sandy and they'll say, we're having a braai.
Yeah.
We'd like Barry just to pop along. You know, he's in town. You must pop along with us. Look, I tell you what. He can just do half an hour for us.
Oh, my word.
Don't bring meat. And we'll supply the booze. And Sandy goes, you think that's what Barry works for?
Exactly.
Meat.
Yeah. But you work at the farm, the top style.
But you see, because a lot of people, you're an artist, man. A lot of people do not understand.
They don't. Somebody's job.
Because the normal person goes to work and, for want of a better word, clocks in, clocks out, comes away on a Friday. My beautiful wife, Sandy, now, she got the shock of her life when we first started going out. Because I remember I worked on my birthday and she was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm working. She said, but you can't, it's your birthday. I said, maybe if you work for corporate, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And besides, I like it. And now, Sandy's friends, if they're inviting us around, will say, we're having a braai on, I'm just using an example, we're having a braai on Saturday. Can we phone you on Friday night? Because Friday morning I might not have a gig. Friday night I might have a gig. You know what it's like. So the normal people can't seem to comprehend that. But hold on, what do you mean?
And it's a difficult thing to get used to.
Yeah, and of course, and a lot of people just assume that Sandy is just sitting at home and and slapgat and doing nothing. But Sandy actually drives my business.
I was going to say.
She does a lot of work.
Yeah.
If she can get a license, it would be nice. But Sandy does. She does. I'm saying this on television. Sandy actually does an awful lot of work in the backside, you know.
It is
On the
brilliant.
The back end. No, because
The back
it's the
end,
advert. I mean, I think the record for Sandy, I think she's changed my flights in one day about 5 times.
Oh my word.
Am I right, no? Eh? Yes, she's nodding. She doesn't want to come on TV.
Love her.
I would even go to a Diddy party for you, darling.
Oh, there we go, there we go.
The trouble is, you ask about Will Smith, and you think to yourself, Diddy. Or Will Smith. Shame. It's terrible. You know what? That's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing, because lots of young, impressionable talent has been pulled into that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not only in Hollywood, it's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Bit of a story.
Yeah.
Bit of a story.
I was just going to ask you
Sign
because...
with me, I'll make
yeah.
you famous, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to ask you because not just listening to you, and obviously times has changed and so much has changed.
Well,
so
it was 5 o'clock just now, it's a bit later.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, me being on the photography side, I'm a photographer as well. So I've got the same issue as we friends invite you and like, oh, don't forget to bring your camera.
No, don't forget.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and it's a case of, geez, I'm stopped working, I've clocked out.
Yes,
Please,
but they,
I'm not paying.
it's not a job.
That, you know
Oh,
what I'm
come
saying?
on, it's just a...
You see what I'm saying? So my question to you is, because obviously my industry, things change all the time.
Yes.
Digital, in the digital age is here, the AI is here. How are you finding that now?
On the computer?
Compared to, yeah, just the new, the new age and era, obviously, everything happening
You've got
so
to work
fast.
with it. What I do is I'm a terrible speller. I can't. I'm the worst. And diction, I'm the absolute worst.
Oh,
Yeah.
I take 5 weeks on
So
that one.
I have an idea, and then I write it out, and then I transpose it. I put it into AI. If I'm doing something
Yeah.
that way, and AI helps you, because if you don't follow AI, I don't think you have to be as maniac as they say. If you're not going to use AI, you're going to die.
Exactly.
But AI is the way it is. Things have changed. Things have changed in the fact that we can now talk to people here, and this basically now somebody in the other side of the world could be listening to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You couldn't do that 20 years ago.
Exactly.
No.
And the
True.
cameras would have been like, they would have collapsed this whole room.
Yeah.
You know, the cameras were massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. Huge.
I mean, you think about it, we could have done this whole thing, 1, 2, 3, with 3 cell phones.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could, there's enough stuff in there, so that's what changed, and you've got to be with it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, things have changed. But Barry, you've had an extraordinary career.
I think so.
And you have. And also, your performances are always very personalized. It is personalized.
Yes, I talk
because
about myself for now.
100%. You talk about
I
yourself.
talk about life, and I just talk about, and I have fun. I find it's quite strange now that there's a big thing in England called crowd work now, and I think, hold on, I've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
Talking to people, and hey, how's that, man? What are you doing?
I remember having a conversation with you and you telling me, no, you've got to make it crowd specific. So it
Yes,
almost becomes bespoke to the room.
Yeah, like I say to some other day, how's it, what do you do? Because I'd like to talk to people. I'm a psychologist. I said, so what do you think? she was like, no? That's how my brain works.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It is wired differently.
And then I said, the other day, I said to a guy, what's your name, bro? He said, Ian. I said, okay, cool. I said, have you got a brother? He said, yes. I said, let me guess. It's Twier. And everybody loves that. That's crowd work. It's fun, man. I enjoy it. So we might actually, if I go on the road, we've got to go on the road. I might actually change my next title to crowd work.
Yeah.
Because that's what my show is evolved into. At the moment, my show is unscripted, which it is. I get on stage and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I just talk about whatever. But I think crowd work is nice. And any subject, I'll do that. I did that for a while. Any subject, and it worked wonders.
Oh,
People still
wow.
remember me for that.
Oh,
I remember you doing some stuff like that, but I want to get to that. Remember that. But you've also been openly talking about depression. You've also openly been talking about dyslexia. You've been very open about ADHD as well.
Mental illness, suicidal thoughts.
yeah.
Yes, it's a bit. There we go. People say to me, how could you be like, have suicidal thoughts and all that stuff? And I say, well, Robin Williams, does that make you? So I haven't got that bad, but I've got really bad when I've locked myself in my room and I thought I'm just useless and I'm pathetic. And that's, if you suffer with depression, that's what happens. It gets darker and darker and darker, and you can't go up, it's just darker. And then all of a sudden, depression will change. It's so dark, and you think to yourself, well, you can't blame Eskom for everything.
Yeah.
And then boom, it changes. That's the weirdest thing about having depression. It just, it's like bang, bang. So I'm talking about it now, and I'm doing actually companies. I talk to companies about it and about the problems there is with mental health. Did you know that between 5 and 15% of any workforce any day is off because of, well, they're off. You got a factory, you never in a factory get 100% people there. There's always some missing. And it's because they used to think it was just the oaks of being skelm or slumcut, if you will, that. But if you go deeper into it, and I've spoken at length to people about it, it's triggered by mental anguish, because the guy, you wake up, I don't want to go to work today. You're not sick, but you're worried about your mortgage, you're worried about this, you've got something's happened, and your car's just broken, and you got this and you got that. So you're not physically sick, but you're just not capable of going to work, and it happens. Okay, and if you go to work with a bad mindset, not saying you're a bad person, but if you're not well in your head, how can you possibly produce? So,
and that's the.
So my talk is about that, and I tell companies, so book me.
There we go.
Because I need the money.
Please.
So you've been blending your personal experiences with your comedic knowledge.
Yes.
You've been creating this entertainment thing where you've got a course.
Absolutely. I got a course called, I'm changing it. It's called Talk Funny, because somebody told me the other day about Talk Funny sort of sounds like.
You got a lisp?
Yes. That was very quick of you. I mean, that's quite sharp. And I thought you were a fit comedian. So my course is a very simple course. A lot of people say to me, how can you explain comedy in 30 minutes? I said, well, take my course and have a look. Because I've only ever told 3 types of jokes in my whole life: puns, exaggeration, false logic. And you listen to my course and you see how I put it together. It takes a while in the beginning, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And if you can create your own humor for your social media, for meeting people or whatever, fresh, topical humor, you got on the front foot. And most people think about, oh, you're going to be funny, you have to go tell this long, laborious joke. A joke takes a couple of seconds. That's all you need to break the ice.
And you teach people how to do this?
Absolutely, 100%.
And is this something that individuals will tie up? Or
Yes, you can do it. You can actually buy my course online at this moment in time. It's not a lot of money. It's less than taking your wife out for dinner.
There we go, everyone.
Much less. Here's the thing. If you learn a life skill, it's a skill for life.
100%.
But you have to work that skill. Okay? So a lot of people go like, yeah, but do I really need humor? Yes, you do. Everybody needs humor. I'll tell you a story. My brother phoned me up. The darker the humor, the darker the problem. The other way around. The darker the problem, the darker the humor. So my brother phoned me up, and I do this in my talk, my Barry Hilton in 3D. My bud phoned me up and he said to me, I need you to sit down, I've got something really serious to talk to you about. And I thought, okay, because he was a businessman. Okay, so I sit down. He says to me, I've got cancer. I went, wow. And when somebody tells you you've got cancer, you become an oncologist immediately. I don't know how that works, but it happens. Like you're going to do something about it. So my brother said to me, I got cancer. I said, really, where did you get it? He said, Kenilworth. True. And until my brother died, that's how we addressed his cancer to the very last second.
Sure.
Wow.
So,
Sorry to hear.
yeah, no, but don't be sorry, I'm older than him now. So, it's just the way it is. And humor is a natural gift that we all have.
Oh, wow.
Too many people are under the assumption, they'll say, no, but you must learn to have a sense of humor. And I say, really? Then why do babies laugh?
Oh, wow.
Everybody's
Sort
got
of
humor.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have different levels of humor, and some are more intelligent or whatever, but it's everybody has a laugh.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And you can be, the closer you are to people, the easier it is for you to create a witty.
Yeah. So anybody, if you want to meet people or just use it for your social media or
Yes, for social media, massive
life
for your
skill.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good if you want to address teachers, if they want to address something,
Oh,
you can
wow.
find something that went funny on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And you can open it. You know, the Springboks lost on the weekend, but at least they tried.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
They
That's
tried.
it. That's 3 seconds.
Exactly.
And that you might get but it gets a reaction.
Yeah. And this is what it's about. It is about that reaction because
Absolutely.
that's what we want. So if you're going to do like a presentation or anything like that, well, we're going to talk more about it. There's a comment?
There's a comment.
There's a comment. All right. Hello, comment.
What's the comment?
Who's
Somebody's
comment?
commenting there.
Hailey, comment.
Mark.
Happy Mahala birthday. Excited to see Barry make his Mahala birthday Monday debut.
Ah,
Thank you, Mark. Mark Sauls.
Mark Souls.
I
Daniel
don't know.
Gillespie
Loving the
Conradi.
Laughing with you, so much respect for South African celebrities working so incredibly hard.
Fabulous.
Aw.
And I didn't even get a chance to meet Donald Trump.
Did you
There's
feel?
another one
Did
who
you
was
feel
architect.
Lisa here from Wood. Lisa, I want to thank you. You're the best person in the whole world besides Sandy. I love you to pieces, and you're great. And thanks for organising this for me. And you just don't know what it means. And I'm just. If I wasn't married, Lisa, I'd be on my knees now begging.
Lisa goes on
Thanks,
to say,
Lisa.
tell us about your inspirational talks you are doing right now. Which is
That's, yo, thanks,
Yeah.
Lisa.
yeah.
My talk is about that. It's about mental health and how I suffer from 3 things. And everybody has a problem in life. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. And the sooner we get to realize that, the better our journey will be to get better. Okay? I am terribly dyslexic. Okay? For years and years and years, I hid behind it with jokes. But I'm dyslexic, and that's the way it is. Now I tell people, dude, I'm dyslexic. I nearly voted for the CNA. So, boom. I have ADHD in a bad way, which you might have noticed when we were talking before the show. And I tell people if I interrupt them, I'm not interrupting them because I'm rude or anything like that. My brain has gone, oh, I understand. Okay, cool, next.
Yeah.
So I just start talking. Sandy spent years telling people that Barry's not being rude.
Yeah.
But so, if you own that stuff, if you own it up front, how can somebody be cross with you? In fact, they will be, oh, okay, let me try and help you. Because people really want to help. Most people want to help people.
Yeah.
So if you own it up. And my third one, which nearly killed me a few times, is depression. I just get depressive. It's quite strange. I don't know why, but people say, how can you be depressive? I mean, you're so funny.
Yeah.
And that's what there's a problem there when I'm trying to sell my talk to companies and things like that. They go like, yeah, but you know, we'd rather book you as a comedian. And I say, why don't you just book me to listen to my talk? And when they've done that, when they've listened to my talk, they go like, oh, wow.
Exactly.
Because my talk, even though it's about mental health and serious things like death and suicidal thoughts and want to harm yourself because you are feeling useless and things like that, it is hysterically funny, my talk, because I've taken half a dozen things that happened to me in my life and I tell people, this is how I navigated it. This is how I found resilience. And every single time, it's with humor. And I told you, the darker the problem, the darker the humor.
Yeah.
And if you can understand that and accept that, you'll have a laugh. It's what it's about. And it's if you can make somebody laugh. You were telling me earlier on, before you turned pro, that you used to go to Bryce and you were always the oak next to be standing to because you were the funny guy. How did that make you feel? Fabulous. Yeah. Okay, so if you take my course and you learn to create little one-liners, 3 seconds, and you can make somebody laugh, how do you think that's going to make you feel? So when people, when people on social media is great, or it's a nightmare. Because once a joke goes around, it goes around, and you get it from 30 different people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But if your crowd of social media people know, hey, you're gonna contact them on a Monday morning, and they know they're gonna have something to chuckle about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're gonna click? I want to speak to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can do that as a salesman, as a teacher, as just talking to people, and if you utilize my talk and understand that humor is so important. It's thank you for it. And for only 5,000.
But if you order now.
Have you ordered now?
But here's the thing, I just want to jump over this, I want to get back to this. You did the Word magazine, you are the cover for Word magazine.
Lisa actually asked me to do the Word magazine on the cover.
And not everybody
Had to make
gets
a big
on,
cover.
Yeah, not everybody goes on Word magazine.
No,
Yeah.
and thank you
And there
again.
you are.
And there you are.
Oh my gosh, it's Barry Hilton with a smile. Oh, fantastic. And cleverly sort of hid my grey hair there. Very nice. So yeah, Word magazine's a great magazine to read. Take my word for it.
And you were along. There's some iconic people that graces the cover of the Word magazine. How was that experience doing all of that?
It was great. First of all, when Lisa phoned me, she said, I want to do a story about you and put you on my magazine. I was like, wow. In fact, when Lisa phoned me, through Sandy, of course, I was in a terrible place, really. I was in the depths of self-hate.
Oh, wow.
And that actually, I can't be that bad. That's what happens. As good as I am, and as good as people say I am, whatever, I'm the Godfather, whatever, there's times that I just want to shrivel up and die. So I'm telling people out there, let me come and talk to your company. Let me come and tell them that it's real stuff I'm telling you. It's not like I'm trying to just make money out of stuff.
Exactly.
And here's the weirdest thing, I'm starting to get some really nice gigs about talking. And Sandy and I were discussing it the other day. And I said to her, Sandy, it actually gives me more of a buzz than actually doing comedy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the fact that I'm actually making people laugh, making people cry, and delivering a message to them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
It resonates with them, and they take that home with them. Wow.
Yeah.
If this I can do it. So I'm not one of these like inspirational speakers that I walked around Mount Kilimanjaro with one leg and a roller skate.
Yeah.
That's fine for those people. My story is the truth. It's 100% true. I don't make up anything. So if you, can I just have a pun? If you are depressed, if you know somebody that's depressed, do yourself, do your friend a favor, your family member, get them to see a professional, because that is your first step in getting better. So I see a therapist. I used to think that Americans all go to therapists. I think they're plunkers. But actually, there's a therapist there. That's why we have doctors. So basically, a therapist is there. You can talk to the therapist. This is what happens, and this. No, but this. Then and so go see it. Don't waste your time hanging on trying to take some Ativan and all that. Go and see a therapist, the therapist will actually prescribe or get a psychiatrist to prescribe you with meds, you'll be surprised how different your life is when you've actually realized, I need these meds. The same with dyslexia. Own it. The same with it. I did a gig with a guy last year sometime, and he was in the clinic when I was there. He was a musician, and he came to me and said, please do not say anything about me being there.
Oh my word.
I said, what, you mean the nut house? He said, you can't say that. I said, well, that's what I did. It's my gig and I got through it. So, and I told him, I said, if you don't open up about your problem, it's going to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because, and I get that, because now it's not a problem. It is.
Absolutely.
We're some of the parts, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? When I go and people are taking me on now. More and more companies are taking me on, and I'm very grateful for that. And then I get a call from the CEO, and he'll say to me, wow, you know what, that talk you did, you should have seen the difference in the guys when they came to work the next day. And it's carried on. We've actually now, because I tell companies, create this sort of scene. You're allowed to have a laugh, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a comment there.
There's a comment there.
Let's get a comment here. Yes, comment again. Comments all over the place today.
There's a few comments in the sky.
Anthony.
Thanks, Barry. You gave me an idea for my next campaign. What are you, Donald Trump?
Yeah. He's going to run for office now.
Anthony, embellish. Jennifer Laveau. That is my real cousin. Jennifer and Dudley Laveau. Thanks, Jennifer. Love you lots. Love you,
That is
you
your
lots.
real cousin?
Your real cousin?
Real cousin.
100%.
100%.
Oh, wow.
My real
Anthony
cousin.
again, my
My cousin. You
just
love what you teach.
I met you at the airport.
My first flight ever, Joburg to George.
He was a captain. I was quite worried. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate it.
Listen, well, I want to do this thing with Barry. I want to put this out there because, and I know we're talking about this is because you've taken the pain, the growing pains, everything that you've gone through, and you're equipping people with that. So for that, we salute you. We think that is fantastic.
Thank you.
Because
I love it.
Not everybody does that. I love the fact that you say that it is so rewarding as well for you, because
I feel great.
The positive difference.
Because I see people to this.
Yeah.
When I go to a show, I see people laughing, but that's in the instance.
Yeah.
When my talk, that people go home and go, oh.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you that: is
Exactly.
it as addictive? Because I don't think anything is addictive to that laughter.
It's addictive if you're not a female. Because it's addictive. So yes, it is addictive. It's a humor. Life is addictive, you know.
Yeah.
It's if you have a problem with asthma, okay.
Yeah.
And you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, take this. Wow. Is it addictive, or is it a thing? This actually is helping me, making me feel better. So boom, boom. So by doing my talks and all that stuff and taking my meds, I'm not lying to the people. I'm saying, this is me, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So it is addictive. I love it because the more I do it, you can ask Sandy if she'll ever come on the TV. She's so shy.
Shame.
No, do you know Sandy was so shy when she was born? She didn't speak to her parents for 2 years. So yeah, it is addictive, and I love it. And I wish I could say I could do it for free, but every now and again I need some bread. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not. You can have a look. I'm not one of these fancy oaks that goes on in these fancy cars and all that stuff. And I would have, but my ex-wife's lawyer found that one out. So, no, but you see, I'm joking about that, but it was terrible. But wait, so yeah, the fact that I'm helping people now is great. My biggest problem is it's that catch-22 that they go like, but Barry's so funny. How can he? So I'm asking the people out there in sort of book speakers land, contact me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Maybe somebody from whoever books the stuff on TED Talk or all these things. You got to do
No,
this.
yeah,
Yeah, this is
please.
it. To get it.
They asked me to do a TED Talk.
So you-
Oak phoned me up and says, "Can you do a TED Talk?" I said, "Not really. I'm Barry. Maybe you should ask Edward." Yes, no, I'll do that. I've shortened the version down. I can do a TED Talk like I explained to you earlier about my course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do it and just show people how easy. I can do it in 10 minutes. We did it in 10
Yeah.
minutes.
we did it.
And I want to put that out there. I want to do this because you've got this thing which is remarkable, and it's something that you've been known for. And I'm aware that you do it. When people give you a topic, you tell them a joke.
Yes, I can do
straight
it. It's
away.
just the way, and it's from my simple but effective how to write jokes.
Yeah.
And I use that template every day.
Yeah.
And this is also the basis that people will, when they sign up for the course, and they get the
Absolutely.
course,
They learn.
this is what they will experience.
When people normally think about comedy, they want to do this whole sphere. And if you go in comedy courses that are designed for comedians, they tell you about this ethos and that and this. My course is about three things: puns, exaggeration, and false logic. I have a friend in in Plettenberg Bay, Greg. Okay, his daughter is 9 years old. She read the course.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Straight away, she said, "I wanted to marry a vegetarian, but he was too chicken."
Oh, wow.
9 years old.
Nine.
Bang.
Wow.
Our son, Jack,
Yeah.
he hasn't read the course, but humor is infectious in our house.
Yeah.
He drops funnies like you can't believe. We were away, we were in the car, we'd just gone for supper, and we were staying at this bed and breakfast in this weird town. And there was a big shop across the road, and Sandy said, "We really need to get some milk and bread." And he went, "Okay." And that's what it was, an okay. So that's how easy humor
wow.
is. The trouble is people are scared
Yeah.
to do that. People are scared to sing. Does it really matter that maybe you did a little bit of opportunity for you to sing? It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to have a laugh. Just don't make it too complicated.
Do you still play the guitar? 'Cause you
I
play
do. I can play the guitar.
Oh, okay.
That struck a chord.
That's so good. Are we going to ask one of the guys on that side for a word or so?
No, let's put it
Yeah.
out to the audience.
And
Let's
so-
put it out to the
audience.
audience.
Okay, who's out
I
there?
want you, just the first
think
person to
Anthony,
send
you
me
sing at your
a comment
pilot.
through. Give me a topic. We'll get Barry to tell you a joke on it. Just send
Quick.
words through when they come through. Anything. I don't want to give it. We don't want to give it because it's going to look like us.
Exactly.
So you give it.
So you give it.
You give it. You give it. You give it. Just give us something here on Mahala Monday, and Barry will get a joke up for us.
We'll hope so.
We'll hope so. And it's going to be a.
There's one there. I check it on
language
screen
we
there.
speak.
I check it on screen there. It's invisible ink.
Invisible.
Yeah. It was there. It's just disappeared. I don't know.
Yeah. So just put it out there. We will get them to alt, give 2 or 3
Just a
for
word,
us
yeah.
there for us,
See if you can.
and then
Or bang, bang, bang.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just push
And
them
while
out
we're waiting for that, what's upcoming? What shows? What's happening? What's hot? What are we to look
Sandy.
out for? Sally is hot. Very hot.
I'm doing. I should stop saying I'm doing a lot of little clubs that I really enjoy doing now. It's in and out. Fun. Corporates coming in. We've got a international cruise line agent that's busy lining up
Oh,
stuff
wow.
for me. The guys from Hong Kong have asked me to go back. I get requests from the States. I get all over the place. But we just concentrate on having fun. When I was younger, my older kids, it was just work. Now I'm married again to Sandy, and we've got this beautiful young lad, Jack, who plays sport. So I put that in front of working in front of 1,000 people,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I'm much happier. We only eat on every other day. No, we're doing well. We do okay. And the funny part about it, that if you take money away out of the equation, your whole life just really does. Because I drive an old Mercedes-Benz. It's a 2008 Mercedes-Benz C180. It's got 220,000 Ks on now. So people say to me, but why did you drive this? And I said, because I like it.
Yeah.
Before, I wouldn't be seen, I can't say wouldn't be seen dead in one of those, because if you couldn't be seen dead in one of those unless you were in an accident. But you would have, I say, no, I need a new car. I go, oh, can't arrive at the flipping with this rubbish. But I don't care anymore. So my family life is so much more important than being a superstar.
100%. You will never hear any more truth than that.
It's so true.
So we added on there, so you're going to be at the Glendower Golf Club Thursday, 29th of May, which is just around the corner. So
I am?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, that is where you're going to be. The very next day, you're back out in the Mother City.
Yeah, I'm doing a show in the church.
Protea Valley Church, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Church,
right.
yeah.
Protea Valley
Church.
Church.
Yeah.
Do you know what's quite sad? Often people will come up to me and say, wow, I so enjoyed your show more than I did last time. And I'll say, why? Well, last time you were so drunk you could hardly stand. And my gosh, the language, the foul, the F words and the C words. And I tell people, you obviously were either drunk yourself or you're thinking of somebody else, because I don't do that.
Yeah.
So people have this misconception, they just, whatever. So it happens. But I work in churches, lots. I really do.
I've done 2 gigs in the church, and I must tell you this: the one, my late grandmother, it was the Mothers Union, and they were like 100 years old or something like that. And she was like the honorary president or something, and she begged me to do this. And I traveled all the way to Buffalo-Sophia, which is outside Swellendam, to go and do this. And there was like 150 ladies there, and it was the best day of my life.
There we go.
My grandmother was there, and it was,
I love it.
It was, I remember that.
I'll tell you what's
was
great
fantastic.
when people come to my show with teenagers. And the teenagers are there under duress because their parents have said, if you want to see comedy, come and see this guy. And they go like,
Yeah.
and you can see them when they come in.
Oh.
They are miserable as 5 minutes. Bang! Because I had dressed them, crowd work.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
I bring them in and they love it. And I that's a massive thing for me. Not about money. When a teenager comes to me and says, wow,
Yeah.
I'd never heard of you because my parents were telling me about you, but I didn't think you.
Yeah.
But wow, you are so funny. And you know what? You didn't have to use any curse words. And there we go.
There we
You
go.
don't have to. You don't have to.
I mean, Mahala, can I just say?
Yeah.
There's comics out there that do that, which is fine. That's up to them.
it's
I'm not
them.
knocking anybody that does that. It's my style. Is that the way I do that?
Exactly.
And it's the style that has stood the test of time.
Almost
Yeah, it's
definitely.
not Castle,
It's very not Charles. Do I have a word? Do I have a
Yes,
word?
we
All right,
do.
so we're going to flash it on the screen for you.
Okay, go.
One of the screens.
We'll time it.
One of the
We'll time it. So
screens.
one
Let's
or
go with the
two. I
center
just want to
screen.
get a sense from. Are you going to get one? Okay, there. Donovan
Fruit
over by here.
juice.
Fruit
Aren't
juice.
you glad that I just did that?
Fair enough.
Euclid.
Trump.
Trump. Only if you're playing cards.
The word architect. Topic AI and dating.
AI and dating. I was on this IA app. I was a bit worried about it. And was a Jenny from Paddo. And she said to me, would you like us to... I can't say that joke. AI and dating. Actually, the thing about AI and dating is quite funny because after 3 days, your AI is dated.
There we go. Got it. Got it. Do we have one more? Alfonso Stoffels, friend.
Friend. You want to joke about a friend? Let me think now. I haven't got any.
There we go. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Was that too clever?
That was too clever because you just did it then. Let me just. Jennifer, is this cousin again? We
Oh,
miss
Jennifer,
you.
I'll come and see you. We'll come
Need
to
to come to
Sodwana.
Yeah.
We would love to do you a show. I'm not going to come to your... to
He's
your
coming,
ice
Jennifer,
cream
for the
shop
show.
for a show.
He's coming to do a show.
I'll pull in. Make
It's
a
gonna
plan
be
there,
at Jenny's
Jennifer.
house.
Phone Sandy, you've got her
Phone
number.
Sandy.
And then we'll come and see you guys because I could do with some warm weather. They say in Sodwana.
Sodwana.
No, you're gonna do a
Do you
show
think that was
that
that too sharp, that friend joke?
That was great because you did the thing that we spoke about.
And you
and
thought I was struggling.
No.
no,
Now, you see, he NLP'd all of you. But let me tell you this because we spoke about this off air. This was one of
Exactly.
the things why the gentleman here with us today, this absolute legend, or why we say this is the godfather of comedy, he becomes that thing. He
Yes.
loves the art. It's constant. And you know you are good at it. You are brilliant at it.
I'm blessed.
And to
I
see
work
you
at it
do
hard.
that is a treat.
Amazing.
Hard work beats talent when talent
treat.
doesn't work hard.
It is an
there we
absolute
go.
art.
Thank you.
It's an
Yeah.
absolute treat.
Thank
It's
you.
an absolute treat. Because he had everybody going.
He had everyone.
You were like,
definitely-
you were trying to throw your boat there. I could see she was gonna.
I think that friend joke was quite funny,
It
actually.
was really
Because I had them, he was thinking,
got you.
He had that. I'm sure he did.
there you go.
Do you want to throw one? Do you want to throw one?
Food.
Food.
Yeah. I'm hungry, so I'm thinking food right now.
Food and hunger. It's quite a tough joke. Do you think you can stomach it?
It was steak, yes.
Go.
Oh, me. Dolphin.
Dolphin. I knew a dolphin in a shoal of tuna because they were friendly. Is that right?
Yeah, that's all right. That's good. That's
Good
great.
one.
Dolphin friendly, also.
Dolphin friendly.
Yeah, that's it. In order to do that,
Yes.
I mean, obviously, that helps with mental arithmetic. It does everything. It's obviously a gift. Like you say, you are blessed. I think it's an
Yeah.
extraordinary gift, and it's hard work and dedication.
Okay. Our son plays football.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing for 3 years. He could, you know the thing they call the keepy uppies?
Mm.
He, for months, could do one, maybe two.
Yeah.
Now he does 500. So what I'm getting at is, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
So boom, boom. So if you have any form of talent, because everybody can tell a joke, because you do tell jokes to the people that you are comfortable around, practice, practice, practice. And if somebody says, oh, that's a bad joke, you say, well, it's better than yours,
Yeah.
because you haven't done one yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
And that's what it's
Do you know
about.
about that? I was checking that. I saw a mobile library outside yesterday. Do you know? I was in Somerset West. They've got a mobile library now. And I thought to myself, I wonder if the mobile library was like in an accident and he ran over somebody. And this person's on the street going, would the driver sort of go like, I just made that up, okay? It's fine.
That's a good one. It's Jennifer again.
Well, Jennifer, we love you.
Animal shelter.
Oh, there's an animal shelter.
And you want to joke about an animal shelter,
That's not an address.
eh? No.
No.
It's not one.
You know what? There's an animal shelter in Hermanus. It's the Hermanus Animal, what's it? Hermanus Animal Welfare Center. But if you read it fast, it sounds like a brothel. I told them there, and they went, "What do you mean?" Horse.
Oh, God.
Hello, Jabbar.
Jabbar says hello.
Kasim Ahmed. Hey, salam, my bro.
Is that a greeting or is that a subject?
That's a greeting.
That's a
He's
greeting, my
greeting.
brother.
Yeah, he's saying hello.
But
he's
hello.
sending love.
Topic for hello. Let's do it.
Hey,
Topic,
For
hello.
him now.
Yeah.
For Jabbar.
topic for a low.
Yeah.
Who's talking? Is that too sharp?
Very sharp.
So I can do that. I'm going to start doing that.
well
Crowd work.
done,
Any
well
subject,
done.
any subject, any subject. You know, my first one ever. I was working in this club, and I could do 4 hours when I first started. Okay. And I was working in this club, and I was doing these 10 shows a week, sometimes 15 shows a week, and it was basically the same oaks.
Yeah.
And one day I walked out on stage and I said, "Oh, guys, you know what? You're killing me here. Give me a subject." And some smarty said to me, "The Queen of England." And I said, the Queen is not a subject, bro. And that's how it started.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
That's
gosh.
how it started.
You guys
That's
are
how it
great.
started.
Lisa, thank you so much.
Oh, you enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely. I tell you what, it's a real treat having you here.
Yeah.
All I can say is thank you.
Yes,
No, thank
definitely.
you too. It's fabulous.
And
I'm having
yeah.
a good time.
I'm glad. And
it's
I
really
know
cool.
your details has been popping up on the screen
Yes.
there. So
I love you,
I
Jenny.
know Sandy's email is there. And obviously, everybody can get in your shoulder media, Instagram at Barry Hilton, at official Barry Hilton Facebook, and YouTube at the Cousin Barry. And LinkedIn is Barry Hilton Inspirational Speaker. So there's.
And if you go to Sodwana Bay and you pop into Jenny's ice cream shop and say, I'm Barry's cousin, she
There
might
you
give
go.
you a cone.
There we go.
And if you're lucky, she'll give you ice cream as well.
They got an ice cream shop there.
That's what they got. They got an ice cream shop in Sodwana.
Oh, wow.
I phoned her
Jenny.
one day. I said, how's business? She said, we're creaming it. And I said, is it good? She said, oh, I love this job. Nothing can lick it.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
And I said to her, what made you do it? She said, I looked at the machine and I thought, I'll give it a turn.
Oh, what? I think we can go on forever here.
Well, not really. I'm going to die one day, about 25 years' time, I think.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh,
It's been fabulous. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm glad.
Barry, what
yeah.
can we say other than thank you so much?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
Can
for
I do a little plug here?
You can. Please, all yours.
You caught me totally off guard.
Don't forget, folks, I'm being serious now. For there's company owners out there, businesses, please contact Sandy. You've got the numbers. I can come and give you a really good talk to your staff and help you. Please.
Do it.
Definitely.
It is as simple as that.
And there's on the screen. The details is on the screen there.
So there we
Go
go.
Sandy.
Yeah, you simply just email sandy@barryhilton.com. Of course, that is a very, very easy email to remember, but also really great. You can go check out Barry Hilton's website. Simple, barryhilton.com.
Yeah,
there we go.
absolutely.
You get all the details there.
barryhilton.com.
The course is there, and of course on social
Oh, yeah.
media is everywhere. More than 40 years, 4 decades. South
43.
Africa's favorite cousin has had us in stitches. And now, of course, helping you as well to deal with things that are very, very difficult at your time. So you definitely got to get involved, because this is the kind of help you want, but more importantly, do it in a way that is really fantastic. And there's more. The funny course, of course, so this is really brilliant. That is it. That's what we all want to do, right?
Definitely.
So you
Absolutely.
definitely got to get in on that one as well. Mr. Hilton,
Talkfunny.co. Barry Hilton Talk Funny.
there it
That's
is.
right.
I
Talk
really
funny.
do appreciate this, and I think this is the best 50 grand I've ever spent in my life.
I'm glad. I'm glad. If it wasn't for us, there will be a later model Mercedes. But, you know.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. You know, we know we're closing, but it's
Yeah.
nice to come to an interview where the people are real, because
Yeah.
too many times you go to an interview. You know, Sandy's got a list of questions not to ask me.
Do we
So
have
Barry, how did it start? Barry, are you always funny at home?
Oh, my word. Yeah.
Sandy's got the whole list. Please don't use these things.
Yeah.
But yet, it
It
happens.
still happens.
Did we have those lists?
Did you send a list, Sandy? Yes. Somebody on stage said to me one day, so Barry, on stage, one of these radio.
Yeah.
So she said, how did it start? I said, to tell you the truth, one day my mother got pissed and said to my father, go on in, just once. And she was like,
Thank you so much for this laugh. Oh, thank
It
you.
was
thank
great. It was great. Thank you so much.
I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
thanks,
On-
Lise.
On behalf of everybody, we can
Yes.
just thank you. Thank you for what you've done for us as a country.
Always,
Thank you what
almost
you've done for
definitely.
us as multiple generations.
Oh,
The
well.
international community.
Thank you.
Definitely, sir, as always, take a
I
bow.
try my best.
Take a bow.
I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But I really do try my best. I really do.
We
But thank
appreciate
you,
it.
and I
We
appreciate you
appreciate it.
very much.
Thank you.
The cousin, everybody, Barry Hilton, on Mahala Monday, right here. And that is Sandy. That is Sandy.
That's
yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, that is Sandy.
Maybe we could get Sandy to... No.
See you, everyone. Have a fabulous week.
Thanks for watching. The so proud association with the Word Architect. Of course, check out the Word magazine. Definitely go to the website. As Rhoda said, it is absolutely free, which is fabulous. And of course, brilliant South Africans, outstanding South Africans, just like me, just like you, are featured in this magazine, and as was our guest this evening, Barry Hilton. So, as always, we'd ask you to like and share this. Please do that, and I'm sure, as we did, this was fabulous. This was the best interview. I am done. I'm retiring.
Drop the mic.
I've interviewed my hero, so I'm done now. Who's after this? Who's after? I mean, who are you getting next week? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
What are we doing now? Next week we talk to ourselves. This is, you know what I mean? Great it was. Thank you to Barry Hilton for visiting. Thank you for joining us. And of course, join us for a next episode, which is going to be exciting. And go check out the Word magazine. And don't forget to go to Barry Hilton's website. Definitely. Until next time, everybody, from all of us here, ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.